Goat versus fish. In the beginning, there was goat versus fish, the GoatVsFish. And goat versus fish said that there should be goat and that there should be fish. There is no alpha or omega. There is no black or white. There is no good or evil. There is only goat and fish. And goat versus fish. Welcome to the GoatVsFish podcast, recorded live at the world-famous Comedy Store in Los Angeles, a place of GoatVsFish. GoatVsFish speaks to you now. You, yes you. You are a part of GoatVsFish, forever GoatVsFish, and GoatVsFish is a part of you. You have many questions, yes? Who is goat versus fish? What is goat versus fish? Why is goat versus fish? But there is only one question. Are you goat or are you fish? Ponder it! Ponder it now. This is goat versus fish. Garde de la Mer. Garde de la Mer. This is a place, a restaurant the ones call it, where the ones can consume that which comes from the sea to consume the very fish. Is it fish or is it versus fish? Let us see. Let us see if it is a celebration of the sea by examining the writings. It is written. Is it written? It was not written by Goat versus Fish. Examining the writings of one Stephanie Oboda of Providence Monthly. Downtown's newest upscale seafood restaurant epitomizes creativity and class. Providence's new fine dining restaurant, Garde de la Mer, appeared like a surprise beam of sunlight during a gray December. Garde de la Mer means guardian of the sea. Oh, guardian of the sea, yes, the sea. Hinting at the contemporary French seafood-focused menu. Of what does it speak? Of what does it speak? Beams of sunlight, are they goat or fish? Rooftop bar, is it goat or fish? French menu, is it goat or fish? It sounds like a place of fence-sitters, the fence-sitters that choose neither goat nor fish. Beware the fence-sitters. Oh, beware the fence-sitters. But they do guard the sea, yes, they do guard it, they say. So perhaps these fence-sitters are fish-friendly, wish to guard the fish from the goat. But how can they be said to guard the fish when they serve the very fish for consumption? Do you see now? Do you see now how confused is the fence-sitter? The ever-pitiable fence-sitter. At once they say they want to protect the fish, but then just as the fish feel safe from the goat, they versus the fish, so that the ones may eat them. Garde de la Mer. Is it a malevolent fence-sitter? Is it a goat acting as if it sits on the fence, as a way to versus the fish? Surely it does not seem to be fish, and yet there are so many fish there. Tell Goat versus Fish. Tell Goat versus Fish on the social media, on the Instagram, on the Twitterver, and say if you think Garde de la Mer is goat or fish or fence-sitter. Yes, but Goat versus Fish has almost forgotten to tell the ones who listen how to find this writing about Garde de la Mer. The headline, as the ones call it. Garde de la Mer features fish with a French accent.
Hello.
What is it?
Say French accent?
Yes, Goat versus Fish said French accent, yes.
Who is saying the accent of the French?
Goat versus Fish does not know who is saying the accent of a French. Goat versus Fish does not know what the French accent is.
This is the French accent. I am the subconscious embodiment of all France.
You are...
Yes, I am.
Goat versus Fish does still not understand this French accent. You are French accent. You are French accent.
That is me. You have found me. Here I am.
And French accent, is it goat or fish? Are you goat or fish?
I do not understand you. What is this goat or fish? Explain to me what this animal is. It a restaurant of some caliber?
Goat versus Fish does not know of the restaurant, this Gare de la Mer. What Goat versus Fish is asking you is if you are a goat or a fish. Are you a goat or a fish?
I am a French accent.
Yes, but is a French accent a goat or a fish? Is it goat or fish? Are you goat or fish?
It depends upon where you are at in France. Some are very goaty, some are very fishy.
Yes.
There are some fishy people in France. No, if you're asking if I am fishy, well, let's just say yes.
You are a fish.
Yes, I would say that I am I like to swim and to move myself, you know. I have an ichthyoid nature.
Then let us celebrate this fish. Let us celebrate this fish. It is a fish. It is a fish. Let us hear the celebration of the fish. You are a very celebratory fish.
Yes, I am I celebrate. I celebrate as a fish and I make music under the water with a French accent like this. That is how you make it, because underwater the fish. It is a different sort of sound, right? All right, you know what? This is how the fish does celebrate. And I've not met a lot of French fish. Do you know? Are there many of this persuasion?
Goat versus Fish thinks that this is the first one, yes. The first one that is called French accent that does say it is a fish, yes. And we celebrate this fish. We celebrate this fish.
Yes, we celebrate. What are you? Are you a fish or a goat? What would you be?
I am Goat versus Fish, yes, the unity and disunity of goat and fish, yes. Neither goat nor fish, both goat and fish, Goat versus Fish, the goat fish. It is a pleasure to meet you.
But you're not, so you kind of sit on the fence.
Goat versus Fish does not sit on the fence. Goat versus Fish is Goat versus Fish. Goat versus Fish is Goat versus Fish.
But you are neither goat nor fish, therefore you must be sitting upon the fence.
Neither goat nor fish, both goat and fish, forever Goat versus Fish, forever Goat versus Fish. But what of this one? What of this one? This is a strange way to verses. This is a strange and celebratory way to verses. Tell us about what is it that does make this celebratory noise, yes.
Well, this is what we in France call the French bagpipes or the accordion. It is an instrument that tells of all the wonderful things which characterize the land that I come from. It is a subconscious way of describing cafe, tea, and...
Continue. Let us continue to hear it. Let
Yes,
us continue
yes.
to hear it, yes.
It is an extension of myself. It is an extension of the French made into a musical embodiment.
Yes, but you are a fish, yes?
Yes, I am a fish. I
So
am a
it is
who
fish.
sings.
This is fish.
This is the fishiest music you're ever gonna hear on this podcast.
Yes, let us hear the fish.
Yes. But there are different kinds of music that do this sort of fish. Like, I know a man, actually, he comes from a different part, north, and he speaks as though he is from Russia.
And is that one a goat? Is that one a goat that comes from this place that you call the North?
Yes, I think the Russian accent is definitely a goat.
So it is Goat versus Fish. It is Goat versus Fish.
Yes, would you like to
Goat
hear? Would you like to hear how the singing of the goat Russian would go?
Yes, Goat versus Fish would like to hear this song, yes.
It would be going of this sort of thing right here. This is how he sounds. He from Mother Russia.
That does not seem like French accent the fish. That seems like a different one altogether.
That
yes.
is different one. Yes, he is spirit of Russia, but his same sound. At any rate, that is not someone that I am in my regular wanderings through the universe as I chase after the ladies to see.
Yes, so you are a fish. You are a fish from a different place,
I
yes?
am a fish from a different dish.
How
that
are
is
the
right.
fish? How are the fish of this different dish, as you call it, different from the fish that are closer here, to Goat versus Fish, where Goat versus Fish is now?
Well, for one, they respirate ocean water with a French accent. Other fish go blub blub. French fish go blow, blow.
Blow. Yes, this is the sound of the French accent fish. Yes.
They swim in a French accent. They have a little twist to their hips. Their gills glitter also aesthetically in the sunlight during the romantic times of the year before they are caught and eaten by the Frenchman.
Those sound like goats. Yes, they consume the fish. Those that consume the fish, that are versus the fish, are goat. Yes.
The goats who eat the fish, yes, they pull them right out of the water. They say, "Come here, my little honey, and we will go back to my place." And then they do goaty things to them, and it smells fishy afterwards.
And have these goats done these things to you, fish? Have you been a victim of the goats in this way, in the verses of Goat versus Fish?
I do not believe that I have, but there is a thing that the fish of France are wont to do. You know, they have a green liquid that they drink, which makes something that is neither goat nor fish appear and flutter around the mind like a phantasm of reality.
Yes, and is that goat or fish?
No, it is absinthe.
All things are goat and fish. If you call it absinthe, it is a fence-sitter if it is a fence-sitter by any other name. Is absinthe goat or fish? Is absinthe goat or fish?
Is the goatfish goat or fish?
Goat versus fish, the goatfish is goat versus fish, the goatfish forever goat versus fish. You may ask if goat versus fish is both goat and fish, or if it is goat or fish. The answer is goat versus fish. The answer is always goat versus fish.
Absinthe is absinthe. That is the French version of goat versus fish.
It is goat versus fish. That is what they call goat versus fish.
Perhaps you might say that. Perhaps you might not. It all depends on where
Goat
you are
versus
coming
fish
from.
says goat versus fish. That is what goat versus fish says. They should call it goat versus fish. It should be called goat versus fish. It is goat versus fish.
1 second.
This is a very strange fish. Goat versus fish has not seen a fish like this, contorting itself, moving about this thing it has upon it, this growth it has upon it. A very strange fishy growth. That does make celebration, but it makes celebration. Goat versus fish is pleased by it. Is pleased by it, yes?
Yes, so that's your name. You're the goat versus the goldfish, and you are pleased by my fishy French bearing. This is good to hear. I will take news back to the absinthe of France, and we will see how they feel.
Yes, a question for this one. What was it like being a fish? What was it like being a fish in this other place, yes?
Well, it's a lot different than here. You know, the other place has a totally different atmosphere, you know. You have to stay indoors at night.
It is the sea, yes? It is the sea.
It is the sea, but there are many goats who have invaded our fishy realms, you know.
Oh, would you say that the goat are triumphing over the fish in this place that has French accent? Do they triumph?
Yes, they have triumphed many times, but the fish come back against the goat and they jump out of the water and slap them with their fishy tails in a metaphorical way, which makes the goats to reconsider, but in fact they never leave. There are some who are both goat and fish in the French accent world.
There are some who are both goat and fish in the French accent world. No. There are none. There are none who are both goat and fish. Tell me of these ones. Tell me of these ones that you say are both goat and fish. What are they like? What are they like?
Well, they have a very similar bearing to you, except instead of a white towel around the neck and around the waist, they have a pink one, and it has little frills on the side. And instead of a large beard, they have a tiny little creepy mustache that seems impossible, but somehow characterizes every single face. And you're likely to find that they dress in colors of black and white.
Yes, this is where they are not goat versus fish. Let me tell you about goat versus fish.
Yes.
First, there is no black or white. There is only goat and fish. So already, they do not sound like goat versus fish. No. Secondly, there are no towels. There are no towels. There is only goat versus fish. There is only goat versus fish. And third, you speak of a beard. What is a beard? What is a beard? Is it goat or fish? Goat versus fish does not know. But all you see, all that is here, this is all goat versus fish. This is all goat versus fish. The ones that you speak of that you call goat fish, fence sitters. They are fence sitters. They are fence sitters.
Well, if they are a fence sitter, what does that make you, Mr. Goatfish?
It makes me goat versus fish the goatfish. We have said this many times,
Yes,
and goat versus
yes.
fish will say it again if you need to hear it again, fish.
Do you find my conduct fishy?
Yes, of course, you are a fish. Everything you do is fish. You are a fish, yes.
Yes, you find it fishy?
Yes, you are fish, yes. This fish is a fish.
Ah, well, I think it's fishy. I think the goatfish is fishy because if the goatfish is neither goat nor fish and neither fence sitter, there is something which does not metaphorically add up. I think you are a fish in disguise sent to protect the assets of the ichthyoid masses.
Goat versus fish is not a fish in disguise, no. But goat versus fish is fishy, yes. Goat
Yes,
versus fish
very
is fishy.
fishy.
Goat versus fish is goaty as well, yes. Both goaty and fishy, yes. It is
Yes.
goaty versus fishy.
Ah, but that is more fishy than goaty. I think you are an undercover fish.
It is more likely that you are an undercover goat trying to infiltrate goat versus fish to find out secrets of the fish by claiming that you are a fish. How do you respond to these accusations that you are actually a goat? Many are thinking it even now. It does sound like a fish.
That is a French dialect of the ichthyoid school. That is actually our alma mater. We would drip that to one another while we flapped about with our fins from one reef to the other in the Mediterranean side of the French world.
Goat versus fish is very pleased to hear this. Very pleased to hear this. Yes, loves hearing about this verses. Loves hearing about the verses of goat versus fish. Yes.
Yes.
But
fish
now,
like to hear about other fish.
once more, what do fish like to hear about?
Other fish. They love to hear about the triumphs of other fish.
Yes, they do. Tell us of the greatest triumph that this fish has had over the goat.
Ah, the greatest triumph this fish has had over the goat. A long time ago, I was a little guppy. I was very small. I had both eyes at that time. And as I was swimming along, a very good-sized goat jumped into the water. Yes, he jumped into the water. And he saw my little guppy self and he sought to grab me. But I did not allow him to. I did not. I swam under a rock. It was a great victory and he went on his way. This is all a metaphorical play to describe something that went a different way a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
And this is your greatest verses, hiding behind what you call it. You call it a rock. This is your greatest verses.
Yes, it was a great strong rock. It was like a castle. And the goat did swim around trying to eat the rock, but you see the goat's teeth could not pierce the rock, for they were not strong enough.
And is the rock a goat or a fish? It sounds like it is fish, for it protects the fish, yes?
Yes, it is a fish rock. It is a strong fish rock.
Yes, a strong fish rock. Yes. Now it is time. It is time to ask you, fish.
Yes.
It is time to ask you, what do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready to be asked what do you say?
Oui. Tell me what I should... Well, ask me what I should say.
Yes,
I am ready.
What do you say to the goat?
Go! Be gone! Goodbye! You have failed. Your goatiness shall no longer endure.
What do you say to the fish?
What's up, my brother?
What do you say? What do you say to the fence sitter?
Are you a fence sitter, or are you the goatfish?
It is what this one says. It is what this one says. And what do you say to goat versus fish?
I say it seems to be a very affecting struggle that has characterized existence for a very long time.
Yes, in the beginning there was goat versus fish. Yes, this fish has heard the word of goat versus fish. Yes. Hi fish.
Flappity flap.
Hi fish, yes.
We flap tails several times. You see, he has a tail, for he is a fish who masquerades as one who is both fish and goat. But in reality...
You speak as if you are a fence sitter. Fence sitters speak this way. Are you sure you are a fish? Perhaps you are a confused fish. Perhaps you actually sit on the fence the way you speak to goat versus fish. Goat versus fish does not like being spoken to in this way, not even by a fish.
There are fish who are able to come from the water onto the land of the dry.
Yes, that is how they verses, yes.
Yes, but they are yet fish.
Yes, you are a fish.
I am a fish. You are a fish.
I am goat versus fish. I am goat versus fish.
You are the goatfish. You are
Yes, yes, I am the goatfish. I
just
am
like
the
the
goatfish,
dogfish or the catfish, both of which are fish.
yes. A fish is a fish. If it is a dogfish or a catfish,
Or
if
a
it is a
goatfish.
fish, then it is a fish.
It is or a goatfish.
I am goat versus fish. You speak. Yes, what do
But
you
I
want to
thought
say
you
to
said
goat
you were
versus
the.
fish?
Are you the goatfish?
I am goat versus fish. The goatfish, yes.
Yes, I've known of a seahorse. I've known of a sea snail. I've known of a catfish.
Fence sitters, fence sitters.
And I've
fence
known of a
sitters. So
dogfish.
many fence sitters.
But they were all fish. Why should a goatfish be any different? You are a little ichthyoid monster that swims about the sea eating kelp, sand, and anything else that comes before you.
Goat versus fish is that, for goat versus fish is all things. All things are goat versus fish, yes.
All right. Well, what would a pastry be?
Goat versus fish does not know what a pastry would be. Goat versus fish would have to ask a pastry. Are you a pastry? Do you speak for pastry?
French accent is recalibrating his mental hard drive.
Yes, yes. But you continue to celebrate. Goat versus fish likes that even as we discuss goat versus fish in this way, that you continue to celebrate. Yes, you do know that goat versus fish, that there is always a celebration of goat versus fish, yes?
I have heard of the celebrations which characterize the goat versus fish and the goatfish who is not a fence sitter but knows the dish.
Yes.
The dish difference between the... I understand what you just said.
Yes, yes, you do understand. Now, let us hear. Goat versus fish is still not certain that this one is a true fish, though it is said it is fish, for it says many things that are like the fence sitter, yes? Or perhaps it is a goat in disguise. It is a goat trying to be a fish that is antagonistic to goat versus fish, so as to make the fish seem like they do not like goat versus fish. Goat versus fish does not know, but it is time for a celebration, and you can prove you celebrate goat versus fish in this celebration. Yes, fish, let us celebrate together. Let us celebrate together. Are you prepared to celebrate goat versus fish?
I am prepared to celebrate the goat versus fish.
Yes, yes. Then let us hear your celebration.
Goat versus fish, 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 goat versus fish.
Goat versus fish enjoyed this celebration, but there were some things about this celebration that didn't seem entirely goat versus fish. Goat versus fish would like to hear this celebration again. Yes, would like to hear it again from the fish. Let us hear it. Let us hear it one more time.
Goat versus fish, goat versus fish, goat versus fish, goat versus fish.
No.
Sacre bleu, I'm doing my best. This is what the French accent does.
Yes, but it does not seem that this fish is truly in this celebration.
I am into the celebration. This is how the fish celebrates in my region of the universe.
Yes, this is the passion of the fish. This is the passion of the fish that goat versus fish
you
wants
want
to
to hear
see.
the passion of the fish?
Yes, let us hear it. Let us hear. Let us sing in celebration of goat versus fish.
Goat versus fish, 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 goat versus fish.
Yes, that is a celebration. That is a celebration of goat versus fish. Fish, you have proved your fish, and you have proved that you celebrate goat versus fish, yes.
Now I would like to see you prove that you are the goat fish and not one or the other.
I am goat versus fish.
Yes, this is what you have said.
Yes, yes. If you do not believe in goat versus fish, when goat versus fish says that it is goat versus fish, then goat versus fish cannot help this one,
But I thought this one was the goat fish.
It is goat versus fish, the goat fish, yes. And now is the time. If any wish to learn more about this fish, Yes, to follow this fish and to see where this fish goes. Yes, how would they do it? How would they do it?
Well, this fish likes to keep himself on the Book of Faces and
Yes.
the Instant of Graham under Kevin.Bennett.969 on the Instant of Graham and under Kevin Bennett or French accent on the Book of Faces. On the Twit of I have put myself on as French accent at Pianoman69. That is something I should change, but I have not. Additionally, I have a novel and an album out. Amphibian is the novel. Amphibian, it is neither fish nor land creature. What could it be? What could it be? I have an album out called Between Dystopias, which is available on any major outlet. And you can find a lot by Googling Kevin Bennett comedian or French accent comedian, either one.
Yes, you have heard it. You have heard it from this fish. Now, fish, yes. You have enjoyed your time with GoatVsFish. Yes, GoatVsFish would like to thank this one.
Thank you as well. You are welcome, and I am welcome, and thank you. This has been a lot of fun. It is a good time to come and discuss the deep metaphysical leanings which characterize the universe of the goat and the fish.
Yes, it is said that GoatVsFish is fun. And yes, always thank GoatVsFish. Always thank GoatVsFish. It is time now to end the GoatVsFish podcast. Yes, but GoatVsFish has some more things to say. But GoatVsFish would like to say them with a celebration. Can this fish give us a celebration as GoatVsFish says these things to the ones, yes?
Would you like to do the celebration we have previously done?
Any celebration you wish.
All right, here we go. Hold on a second. I think we will do the old one. I've remembered something about licensing, etc. Here we go. Goat versus fish.
One moment. Yes. Should you be... let us do it without the singing. GoatVsFish will talk over it.
You do not like the fishy sound that comes from my French vocals? All right,
It is time for GoatVsFish to speak, yes.
All right.
Thank you for joining GoatVsFish. You have heard the word of GoatVsFish. The theme music for this episode was an offering by McKinery on SoundCloud. And if you, one who listens, has a celebration of GoatVsFish, do send it. Send it to goatvsfish@gmail.com. Send your celebrations and send your questions, for GoatVsFish may answer them on the GoatVsFish podcast. Subscribe, rate, review the GoatVsFish podcast. Follow GoatVsFish on all social media, the Instagram, the Book of Faces, the Twitterver, all at GoatVsFish, all at GoatVsFish. And when you are out in the land, look about you. Find one who is lost, who does not know the way, and ask. Simply ask. Are you goat? Or are you fish? Are you goat or fish? Thank you for being part of GoatVsFish. I am GoatVsFish, the goatfish. And it was listened.